Guys, chill, okay? I'm gonna make this video so you can understand exactly why I said Waves is not ready for Genshin Impact, and I want to explain to you why, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna understand it, so let's dive into it. So, you're looking at gameplay footage here from Waves, and let's talk about it. First of all, I'm playing on my iPhone 14 with overclock settings. Now, I'm playing with these settings just to show you the power of these phones, because phones, well, the new iPhones at least, they can handle, this type of gaming and stuff like that. So first of all, just know that I'm playing on the phone, and that's where my experience is coming from. Now, why did I say that? So I said that because I was told that someone playing on the PC isn't experiencing as much problems as I am on the phone. So let me explain exactly what I am experiencing. First of all, the game is not running at 60 frames. Now, it does say 60 frames, I guess to make it look good, sound good, whatever the case is. But I've seen that this game does drop to about 30 frames. And I can tell because when I do the screen recording and I check to see what, the video settings is about, I can see it's at 30, less than 60. So yeah, it's not running at 60. It does drop, you do notice it. So that kind of issue doesn't really happen in Genshin, and I run Genshin overclocked as well. Like, I run it at the highest settings possible, and I think it's 60 frames I think is the highest, but it runs pretty well. Second of all, this game experienced a lot of pop-in issues. Like, as you playing, you would have creatures and all kind of stuff popping in, and mind you, I'm going to give it a break and say, you know what, the game just released, give it some time, it'll get better. That's fine, but it's still present. You can still experience it. So I mean, hey, I wasn't the one who told you to drop a game that wasn't ready, so you can't blame me for complaining about the obvious. The game has a lot of pop-ins, and it's kind of annoying because you be playing and sometimes a monster isn't there or pop up on you or in you, or yeah, that's not how Genshin does it. So you can't tell me that Genshin is not the better game when Genshin gives you at least a playable great game, at least. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the sound of this game, and I want to just listen. This is what I experienced just playing the game, and I don't know if you guys ever played Genshin before, but it's not ever like this. Now, I do a bit of video production. I know, good sound. I know good quality videos, all that stuff. So I noticed, you understand? I noticed the sound. It sounds undone. I'm going to just sum it up and say this game is not quite done yet. And they just released it because I guess the budget was kind of exhausted. And it was like, you know what? We need to drop this immediately. And they just pushed the game out. But that's fine if you're going to do that. But then don't get upset when I, notice it and then I tell you about it, and now y'all want to hate or feel like someone is bashing the game, or I'm saying don't play the game, or no, I'm just saying the game we are playing is undeveloped, is undercooked, you know what I mean? And that's not how Genshin does it. At least Genshin give us both. Like, you could play the game great on mobile or great on PC. Come on, like, how could you disrespect Genshin for this, that you could barely operate on your phone? And the thing about it is, I don't know if you ever been playing on your phone, but this game can't even tell which way your phone is oriented. So if you was to turn off your, how you could lock your screen from rotating, if you lock that, the game like flips upside down and all kind of weird. Like, you can't tell how you playing on your phone. It's weird. This kind of stuff I'm experiencing, and I just don't think that's, I can't call that better than Genshin, to be honest. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that this game's story is just like Genshin, but I think because it's undone is even weird. It's more like jarring, to be honest. Like the cut scenes or whatever they supposed to be, the acting is horrible. This game is not better than Genshin. I'm gonna just tell you. Now, if you want to play it for the combat, I'm gonna give it the fact that the combat is a bit mature. Definitely, I think the combat is definitely more mature than Genshin. It is fun. It is kind of addicting, but the fact that you have so many issues, it kind of like disconnects you from that. So you could be playing and then, a sound just randomly, sound off, or a cutscene just disconnect, and I was experiencing also that you'll be playing and then the connection just stopped. and it'll say reconnected, and it's like, what? Like, Genshin does not do this. Like, you gotta understand what I'm comparing. I'm comparing a game that is polished, right, versus a game that they just randomly drop, and then y'all say that the developers care more about you. How would they care more about you when they give you something that is uncooked? If you went into a restaurant and that restaurant served you some food that is not properly cooked versus a restaurant that's serving you food that's cooked, it may not be on the time or whatever you wanted, but it's cooked when you get it. How could you then say the restaurant who's trying to kill you is better? He's better at killing you, yeah, but not better at serving you. Anyway, I just want you guys to understand why I'm making this kind of comparison. And when I say it's bad, I mean that the fact that they drop it as a final game versus Genshin that's out as a final game is not really comparable at all. Now, like I said, the combat is fun. It's unique. It's kind of cool. But this is a Genshin clone that is not really winning, the gacha battle. I think definitely Genshin still has number one. Now, this could be a good number two. I don't really see much competition in that space. This could be very well a good number two. But to say that this game is better than Genshin, I need you guys to stop meat riding and actually, consider what the hell you're doing and saying. Because it's not, Genshin, they might take their time to do whatever, but I prefer to have something that's going to be solid than something that's going to fall apart in the next few days. You understand? So I know maybe, different strokes for different folks. That's fine. But don't just consider the fighting aspect of it and think it's a better game. It's not really a better game. It's a better fighting game. Yes, you could say that. But a better game, you would be now comparing a final product versus a final product. And Waves is not a final product. So let's just be clear with that. So these are some of my experiences. You can let me know what you've been experiencing, but I can clearly say as someone that plays, very detailed games like, Zero Dawn Horizon, Assassin's Creed, Red Dead Redemption, those kind of games, I kind of know and have like an eye for detail, so I can tell, bullshit from gold. So Wuthering Waves, what I say is gold? No, hell no. Now the combat might be, silver goldish in that range, but because it's under a horrible final product, yeah, they still got some work to do. So take this with a grain of salt. Don't get too much in your feelings. Consider the entire product, before you just use the combat system of it and think, oh yeah, this is way better than Genshin because the fighting is much flashier. No, the story in Genshin is way better. It makes sense. It lines up. It kind of like explain real life as you playing it. Genshin has a lot more going for it, and the fact that you could actually play it consistently without it crashing. How many updates has Waves had in the last 2 days? So guys, let's chill out and really think here. Let's get out of our feelings and really think about what's going on here. So that's my take on it. You can let me know down in the comments. Please do not dislike my videos like a bunch of maniacs because I said the game is not better than Genshin. It's the truth. I mean, live with it. Let the developers take this video and fix their problems. That's all you gotta do. Send it to them. All right, so yeah, get in the comments, join the Discord, and let's have this discussion. I'm out.
Would you call them the last one of reason? Or the sole apostle? Think about it. The shepherd is not the preordained embodiment of truth. Once he is gone for good, the black lamb can reclaim the trust of its herd. Then, eventually, there will be none left to be victims or oppressors. Sir!